Hello, my name is Gabriel Ryan, and welcome to the 8th installment of the Legend Comics vlog series. Today we are in one of my favorite spots that I live nearby. It's right by the ocean. Just kind of an overcast day today, and I don't know about you, but I find it really calming. Light rain going on outside, and it just feels nice. And being by the ocean, I wore a shirt to match today, as you can see right there. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about a topic that, thanks to my wife, was brought up to me last night. She's actually helping a lot coming up with the topics of these videos. Anyway, I wanted to address how character development and character growth happen in comic books. And I don't mean that in comic books as in like independent comic books that are, independently made by creators and artists. I'm talking about Marvel and DC comic books, or just grand superhero universe stories. And the reason it's so interesting is because character development happens in those stories in a way that I don't think, or that I would say doesn't happen in other types of medium. Because these superhero narratives, these superhero universes like Marvel and DC have been around for years now, for decades now. We're talking like 70, 80 years, and it's all been one continuing narrative that just constantly builds upon each other. So how do you create like characters and character growth if the story never ends? And the method that they have for that is something I find really fascinating. It's kind of like a free-form, impromptu style storytelling that I think is really comparable to something like the classic like myths that were told around fireplaces, or like Greek myths, or things of that nature. And basically how it works is, let's take, for example, a character like Batman. So how it works is like you would have a run of Batman that would start, and the writer would start writing the character of Batman. And when he starts writing the character, when he first like puts his hand on Batman and wants to create a narrative about him, how it works is that he starts off with what everyone's idea of Batman is, regardless of the stories that came before him. Like, what your perception of Batman is in your mind right now is the character he's starting with. And then he's going to go on to produce however many issues of that story that he is going to for DC Comics. Right now, the current Batman run, I think, is at issue 54 and written by Tom King. And over the course of those 54 issues, Batman has had a lot of character development. He's grown and learned things that have changed his perception of the world around him and other characters' perceptions of him. But you see, eventually, Tom King, the writer, is going to stop writing Batman. And then somebody else is going to take over as the writer. So what happens to all these different character developments that Tom King added to the character? Do they just go away? Well, kind of. Because what's going to happen is that over let's say Tom King ends up writing 100 issues of Batman. Over those 100 issues, most of the character growth is unfortunately going to disappear. But there will undoubtedly be a couple of ideas, a couple of narrative points that Tom King will introduce to the character of Batman that will be so strong and resonate with the character so well that they are going to permeate outside of that story, that they are going to permeate into the public conscience of the character. And so when the next writer picks up Batman, he's going to start from scratch. But there's going to be those few ideas, those few topics that Tom King added to the character that were so strong that the next writer can't ignore it. And he's going to sprinkle in those ideas into the Batman that he writes. And that's how it happens. It's going to continually build like that in every iteration, every time the character is written. And that's, in a way, what I think is so cool about superhero comics, is that it's these small bits of details that continually build and build to create these real characters. And it's just, again, it's this impromptu, free-form style of storytelling. I think there's been a lot of parallels that academics have made about superhero comics in comparing them to like the ancient myths of legend. They are the myths of the gods of the modern age. And in a lot of ways, I think that really holds true. That is what they mean to current culture, is they are the larger-than-life myths that define us. Well, anyway, rain's coming down a lot harder now, but I'm really glad that I got to get some good scenery and get that idea off my chest. That's an interesting aspect of superhero comics. Well, that's it for now. Go out there, save the day, be superheroes. I'll check in with you tomorrow. This is Gabriel Ryan again for Legend Comics. Goodbye.